Right, so we were given this function, f of x equals 3 minus 2x, and we want to find the equation of the inverse. Okay, so this is going to be about a four-step process here, okay? So the first step is to replace f of x with y, okay? So we're going to replace f of x with y here, so we'll say y is equal to 3 minus 2x. The second step then is to replace every y with x and to replace every x with a y. Remember, that's what the inverse does, right? It swaps all the x's and y's, right? So the second step then would be to have this x is equal to 3 minus 2y. The next step then will be to solve this guy for y. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of algebra here and solve this guy for y. Okay, so first thing we should do then is we'll subtract 3 to both sides, right? So we'll subtract a 3 to both sides. Notice in this on the right side, the 3's just cancel out, right? So x minus 3 is equal to negative 2y. There's really only one thing left to do here, right? We'll divide both sides by negative 2. So y is going to equal x minus 3 over negative 2. So we have solved for y, which means then that this is our inverse, right? And that's sort of the last step here, right? We'll set this equal to f inverse of x. Now, how can we verify that these indeed are truly inverses of each other, right? We have to use this important property, right? If we take the composite function of a function and its inverse, right, and we work everything out, we should end up with just x. And this should go both ways, right? So f inverse dot f of x should also equal just x. Now, for all intents and purposes, you should do both, okay? Here we'll just do one of these, right? It doesn't really matter which one, okay? But let's do the first one, right? Let's do f dot f inverse, right? So f of x is 3 minus 2x, right? So that'll be 3 minus 2x, right? But what should we put in the place of the x here? Right? Well, the inner function, which is f inverse. So we got x minus 3 over negative 2. But notice what happens algebraically here, right? The 2's cancel out, okay? But also the negatives also cancel to become a positive. So we get 3 plus x minus 3, okay? And because of the plus here, we can just drop the parentheses. So notice what happens here. What do we end up with? We end up with just x. Right? So what can we conclude? Right? That this is true, right? That f, the composite function of f dot f inverse of x does equal x. Okay, so we have shown, right, that these are inverses of each other.